The dairy facility aims to keep up with the growing population in Texas. KLTV7's Michael Richardson reports on what's new inside the expanded Hiland Dairy Tyler plant, which will bring more products onto store shelves and serve schools across East Texas.
This is a dream come true.
Over 100 million gallons of milk a year. That's over 4 times what Hiland Dairy has been able to produce, made possible through its expanded Tyler facility.
I was raised in this business since 1978, and this is the only second dairy in all those years that has been open as a full-service dairy company.
The company's added all new fillers and automated packaging technology.
Dairies typically are older facilities, and so a lot of the equipment is usually older and has been around for quite a few years. This marks, for everything to be new from the beginning is milestone.
Tyler Plant General Manager Barry Beeman expects the new 96,000 square foot facility will bring 80 jobs to the area over 4 years, depending on growth. He adds those jobs start at an average of $60,000 a year, including benefits and overtime.
It definitely helps when you see this sort of commitment and this capital spend in our community. It shows that there's a lot of corporate confidence in Tyler, Texas.
For Beeman, it means the world to have his wife, father, and brother, the company's president, alongside him.
We're just tickled to death to be together and to have him here at 93 years old and see the accomplishment that we've been able to achieve.
The new facility is set to begin manufacturing products in the next couple weeks. Michael Richardson, KLTV7 News.
Beeman says the older facility will still be used to make plastic milk jugs and handle some of the raw milk. He adds the company is looking at expanding deeper into Louisiana.